Well, hello YouTube, and welcome to Allie's Wonderland Creations. I'm Alice Seraphin. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the US. Well, today I am going to be showing you how I'm making a sketch pad and a small little notebook that came in a package of 3 from the dollar store. I'm making this for my grandson for his computer desk because he writes down things. So we are featuring the Friends of the Forest stamp set, which is in the mini catalog. We're also going to be using a couple of the Give It a Whirl dies. We're going to be using some Stampin' Right markers, a sponge dauber, some glue, ink, paper, and a blending brush. And I think that covers it. So let's set this aside, and I'm going to show you. Let me bring you down to where I can see. We are going to be using some retired DSP because I have it. This is going to be the front of this little sketch pad. Now this little sketch pad is 6 by 4 that I have, and my grandson likes to write down codes for gaming, and he's 8 years old, so I thought this was perfect. So I'm gonna walk you through this. We are using this was from Celebration, Sunshine and Rainbows, which I thought just was very bright and cheery. So I've got most of it done. Set that aside. And we're going to be creating the identical imagery, but smaller for this one. So let me give you the dimensions. Okay, so like I said, this notebook was 4 by 6. So we're using a piece basic white, 3.5 by 5. Layering behind with basic black at 3 5/8 by 5 1/8. Your choice of DSP at 5 3/4 by 3 7/8. Layering behind it, basic black at 4 by 8.5. For the small notebook, you will need 2 pieces of basic black that are 3.5 by 4.5. Glue them on and then hand trim them because some of the books aren't perfectly square. DSP, you'll cut one at 3 1/8 by 4 1/4. Basic black, cut one at 2 5/8 by 4 1/16. A piece of basic white cut at 2.5 by 4. 1 piece of basic black for the back, that's from here, and a piece of DSP for the back at 2 3/4 by 4. And the reason why I'm doing that is because that was left over when I cut the 6-inch square up, and I'm like, why not use it? So I'm gonna set those little notes aside. That's gonna go in my little book. And I am going to show you how I stamp this. Now, you'll see I have my Stampin' Pierce mat because this is a polymer stamp set. Oh, first, let's get to the stamping. This is a scratch piece of paper. So the first thing I did is I stamped all of my images basically with Early Espresso. Let me set those aside so I don't get ink on them. And the first one I have is the tree. Don't worry, I already have them ready. I just want to show you what I did to color them. So I stamped my images out. I stamped the tree, the little fox, and the little bunny, like so. Those I hand cut. So I'm thinking, yeah, we're done with that. So let's close that up. And then I'm going to show you how I colored these. This is where the Stampin' Right markers came in. We're going to be using them again. First of all, I took crumb cake and I just colored in the trunk of the tree and the branches. Okay, like so. And I also did a little bit on him. I did a little bit there, little kind of like you wouldn't say shading like you would the blender brush. I did the inner ear of the bunny. I did his little tail, his little feet a little bit. Okay, and then I took 2 different colors. I took Garden Green and Pear Pizzazz. And how I did my tree, I'll show you my tree here that I have already cut and done. I simply took my markers and I kind of tried to do every other one Sometimes I had to do two next to each other, but that's basically what I did. Then I took the Pear Pizzazz, oops, wrong end, and I went along and I colored all the other leaves like so. But what I really did, what made it all that green, is I took a sponge dauber in Old Olive, and then I took it and I did like this, and I went way around on the outside of the tree so that when I cut it, it still had green, and I did that all over my tree. Okay, even around the trunk I did a little green. So that's how I did my tree. Now my little fox I did in pumpkin pie here, and I just went over them, simple coloring them in. Like so, okay. And that's him. Now for the bunny, oh, we already did it. And then I hand cut all those out, which I already have done. I will show you. Here's my tree, my bunny, and my little fox. So that's what we're going to be using. Now from the Give It a Whirl dies, I do not have the Cloud Punch, but the Give It a Whirl die, I'll show you. I'm using these two, but it has another cloud image. It has this great detail on that, so that's what I chose to use for my clouds. Let me set those aside. And let's bring in our paper, which I'm going to show you how I did this, okay? First thing I did is I took a line. Oh, no. First thing I did was I stamped. I'm looking for the Early Espresso. There it is. I stamped my tree trunk. Gave me a basis for where things were getting placed. So, took the little tree trunk, determined roughly where I wanted it, like so. And I took crumb cake, tying it in with the tree, and I colored it in. Okay, then I took my Pear Pizzazz marker, and I'm just making me kind of a grassy area, like so, just for it to go into. Then I took my marker and I roughly squiggled all over it. And I do mean roughly, okay? Then I took my sponge dauber and my Old Olive ink. Now you could have done it Pear Pizzazz, but I like the two different colors. And I simply came over it with the sponge dauber, just like I did the tree, and filled in my grass. You could use a blending brush, but I already have the sponge dauber out. So there's my grass. Next, we do take the blending brush, and I can't wait for the new colors to come out for Stampin' Up! For this new year, because I'm hoping they have a really nice pale blue like the Seaside Spray, because I missed that color. Now I took my blending brush in Balmy Blue, Balmy Blue, and I want to real lightly go over the white area, and real lightly. I just didn't want it stark white. You can do it as light or as dark as you wish. Okay, we got to do this again to the other piece. So there we have it. That is our background, but we're not done because we still have one more to do. But then we brought in garden green, matching our leaves, this cute little mushroom and flower stamp. And all I did is I went, ooh, that didn't make it. Now I got 2 of those. That's okay. This is for show. And then for that, let's see if I got a scratch piece. Yep. Honestly, this is exactly what I did. Took it in there like so. And for the other side. Now, of course, I'm not using this piece because I messed up there. I'll use the other side. Now then I took in and I took the crumb cake, colored in my mushroom stems, okay? Then I took the pumpkin pie and I colored in the center of the little flower. Then I took saffron, colored in my petals in the tops of the toadstools, little mushrooms. And I'm doing really sloppy here on purpose just to get through it. And then I took not the brush tip, but the writing tip of the Stampin' Write markers and filled in those little dots of my mushrooms, okay? So now let's do a nice job on the smaller piece we need to do. So we need to bring back in our little, we gotta figure out how this is gonna go on the notebook. I'm gonna bring the tree down. My little fox is gonna be going on there, and my little rabbit's gonna go right there. So that's how I determined where it's gonna be. Now we're gonna do the background. Let's move that aside. Garden green. Yes, I will leave you open for a moment because we're going to be using them. Bring in my pear pizzazz. Oops. And I am going to make my little slopes and give little small squiggles. Okay, and then my garden green and the sponge dauber need to come back in. And we're gonna simply go over all of that with the sponge dauber. Okay. Oops. Now we're done with those. Now we're gonna bring in our blending brush, not blender. Okay, and really wipe that off. And bring in some blue for the sky. That looks good. Closing the ink pad up. Now we're bringing in our garden green and our little toadstool stamp with our little grass. And I'm going to be more careful. Much better. And that one looks like it will fit just like so. And then this one, I don't think I need to. It's just going to get a little bit of grass there. Okay, now we're going to color those in. First, we're going to bring in the pear pizzazz again and bring the grass lightly up to the little grasses from our stamp. Like so. Okay, next we're going to bring in the garden green and we are going to do the petals on the flowers, which there's only 2 on this wee little one. I'm going to bring in the pumpkin pie. Oh, I'm doing it reversed. Oh, well, it's gonna go this way now. Alrighty, and let's go ahead and fill in our little dots since we have it out. All right, that's okay. And we're gonna bring in our So Saffron for the center of our flowers now. Just a little reverse there, filling in our toadstool caps. And crumb cake to round it off. And we'll color in our trunk of our tree trunk here, little stump. All right, so all done with the stamps and the coloring. Let's take that aside and let's go ahead and get this one done up. We do need Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. We're gonna need some of those, and let me see if I have a little bit of, oh, I think I need to order some minis. Oh, no, I got some right there. But this is it. These are from Paper Pumpkin, so I'm gonna need, I have plenty of those. I just don't have any minis. So we are going to put a mini on the tree trunk. Let's see. 2 on there to be certain. Let's do these little guys. Now, in their little, I wanted his little tail turned up. I'm just taking my thumb, bending his little ears, and I'm doing the same on the little bunny. Just pulling it up so they curl a bit, and his wee little tail. Okay, so we need one there, one on his head. This little guy needs one in his head, his body, and his tail. And then the tree there will get full dimensionals. And quite a few. Stick one in the center and go around like the face of a clock, kind of. One more there should about do it. Oh, and well, our clouds, but I think we're only gonna have room for one cloud. And you can see I was stamping a saying and using the other side. Let's see. Let's get our tree on. Well, we know where the bunny goes. Let's get him on there. So cute. And then the tree. The sentiment from the stamp set that I've chose to use is going to go on the inside somewhere. I'm not sure yet, but I'll show you. Happiness is being with you. I really like that. But there was really, the front was so darling, there was no room for the sentiment. So I thought, oh, I'll stick it on the inside of the sketch pad in the little book. Okay, so here's our tree, which is gonna come up and over like so. Let's see which of these clouds is gonna make it. Not that one, I don't think. They're gonna be hanging off. Okay. Yep, or we could do one over here like so. We're gonna have to see what it looks like. We'll wait to do the cloud till we get it on our little notebook. And there is our little fox. So cute. So, one large, one small. We will put, hopefully I can get these on there. Okay, let me move my markers out of the way. I'm going to actually put them back in the bin all together now and move the stamps away so we don't have, and let's work on, I'm going to scoot that aside, and we're going to work on our sketch pad. So, piece of basic black, I'll tell you the measurements, 8.5 by 4, and it's going to go like so, okay, but we're only going to be adhering it here and to the back. So let's get some score tape and put some score tape on this. I was cleaning up his desk area after he went to school today, and he has a spiral bound, oh no, it was a coloring book, that's what it was. His coloring book that his mother got him. It's not used for coloring. It is used for taking, like I said, what did he call those things? Codes to listen to certain songs when he's on his little games with his friends. He gets on YouTube, he watches them, they give him codes for certain music. One song was, oh my gosh, I woke up one morning and all I heard was, "It's raining tacos from out of the sky." I did not have a good voice, but it repeated that phrase continually, and it was stuck in my head for a week. And my daughter said, "Oh, Mommy just loves that song." I said, "Honey, all it says is it's raining tacos. No need to ask why." She's like, "I know." She's like, "It's from his game." So I'm taking my bone folder. Not scoring or anything. I'm just folding it over, pushing along the side like so. And yes, I want this all on the back there. So we are going to do more score tape. In fact, we could just go here. Really don't like to pull it and tear it like that. I like to cut it. I did find my good glue scissors, by the way. They were on my treadmill in the house. Don't ask why. I'm sure my grandson probably needed scissors for some reason and came out and took them. Oh, there's my little pen. Lift those up. Oh, today I need to call the school. It might be a half a day. Not sure what this week is because of, I think teacher conferences this week. So we're doing there, folding it over, going over with the bone folder. There we have it. Well, I'm a little off there, but he is going to be happy. So next piece is our DSP, and you can see I just wanted the slightest sliver of black. That's why it's cut so close to the edge. I'm going to use my large bottle of Tombow for this. And I hope everybody is ready for spring wherever you are, or winter if you're on the other side of the world. Not sure how that works, but I'm ready for spring. My hands are freezing right now. Okay. How are we looking? Let's pull the camera up some so you can see me trying to wiggle it on here. Yeah. Well, it's sticking. That's good. Next layer, basic black, which is layering just like so. Isn't that darling? I love it. I'm thinking, I know I left it like that for a reason. Okay, we're gonna go with it. I'm kind of thinking, no, you got too much there, but I'm not gonna overthink it. That's how I cut it. That's how it is. You can see more of the rainbows and sunshine. My grandchild has brought so much joy in my life, even with all his little antics. I just love him to pieces. Oh, so cute. And this is going to be waiting for him. You could do it. I could put something there, but I don't think I need to. I am going to center it. Okay. I should have done it a little taller, but we're going to make it work. There we go. So there is my little sketch pad for my grandson. And we're going to go ahead and put some Wink Stella in the clouds. Make them, ooh, I want to brush that off first. Just make sure nothing. Some sparkle in the clouds. And of course on the bunny, because he's nice and white in the sunshine. We'll do the fox. The fox is his favorite character right now. Okay, so there is the sketch pad, which I'm sure he will have full of codes, which I should have bent this up. That's there. Oh, no, that's probably, I meant it to go down further. Well, it's there now. It will get bent. Okay, that's why it was supposed to be down. So, now this is my little notebook. It came with 3 of them. And it is 3 1/4 by 4.5. Yeah, 3 1/4 by 4.5. Like I said, they're not perfect. So, here's my others. This is for the front. That is for the back. So let's do the front cover first. And this I am just using Tombow. Ooh. Are we still rolling? Yes, we just had a power surge here. Not sure what that was about. And the reason why I gave you the measurements I did is because I had one book that was just so off. So in the grounding of the corners, that all I did was come in with some snips and hand trim it. Because I did a book like this right before I did this, decided to do Hank one to go with, let's see, yes, I'll show it to you in a second. It was just using up some paper I had. See, my little project box, see? That I had this piece all done. So I did the little notebook. This is a Post-it notebook. And I don't have any more Post-it pads. So there's our front cover. We're going to go ahead and do our back cover identical. Glue. Get it on there. And then I'm going to hand trim that down. There we go. All right. So next layer for the front is this piece, and I did leave this a little long, and larger, because I wanted to trim it once I got to it. So I can see those rounded corners. Let's get this glued and mounted first onto the black. And just the tiniest of borders here around it, just to frame it and pop it up so it doesn't sit. But we are gonna definitely have to trim the DSP down. Just wanted to wait and see how I'm going to do that. Okay. So I need that little bit of a black border there. And where's the pencil? This is basically how I'm gonna do it. Eyeball it. I'm gonna take it to there on that side and take it to here on this side. So let's bring in my guillotine and then I'll tell you what the exact measurement is. This measurement for the moment is 4.5 by 3 1/8. And now I'm taking off that much and that much. And I'll tell you what the new measurements are. Looks like 4 1/4 by 2 7/8, and 4 1/4. I'm gonna take it down. It was just a tiny bit over, so let's just take it 4 1/4 by 2 7/8. Let's see what it looks like on the wee little notebook now. It fits. So let's glue this down. And I chose this DSB because of the colors, because it's, to me, it's very child friendly. And I like that. Going with this. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Then we can see if we can fit our cloud in here. Oh, I think he's gonna like it. Okay. Clouds. Which clouds? We have this one. That's the one we're gonna do. Okay, so this cloud here. And get it right in there like so. And oh, so we have a sketch pad. And I really should have moved my clouds down. That whole paper should have been moved down, but it's okay. I wasn't thinking when I glued it all together. Accidents happen, and it's what you do with it. He will be happy. And we're gonna wink a Stella, our little bunny, our cloud, and our fox, and happiness is being with you. We are going to open our book and put that right. Oh, we forgot. Maybe we'll stick it on the back because we have this to put there. Forgot about that other piece of DSP. That's what we're going to do. Okay, so there is our DSP. And we are going to put that right on the back. I wonder if I have a piece of black that's big enough, or I can cut it down. I've got this little bit of black. I bet we can trim this down. Excuse me there. Okay, so let's trim our sentiment down some so we can fit it on a little scrap of black I have left over from, oh, and look at that, it does. It does, it does, it does. And I'm going to glue it before I cut it off. Come on, glue. There we go, and a little cut. And we will be done. And you know, I'm thinking, the more I'm thinking about that sketch pad, the more I'm thinking about cutting off this whole thing. I think I'm going to do that. Let's see. Let me see if I can get it undone. All that tear tape I stuck on it, and it says, no, thank you, lady. I don't want to come off. But I'm thinking of doing it differently now. Okay. I know you guys are thinking, she's crazy. but it's bugging me tremendously. Stuck so much darn tear tape on it, I wouldn't have such a bad issue. There, I got it. I got it. Okay, now I need to cut it off with an X-Acto knife. I'll have to make another cover for this one. Oh, we still might use that one. Alrighty, here we go. Let's see if I can fix that up somewhat. Let's just bring in the cutter. I am gonna make an... There. Okay. There's my cover. Now, oh, need to cut that off. I'm gonna fix it. So don't be afraid to change up your mind. My little tail on that one is not glued down. I'm gonna need a glue dot. We are gonna make a different type of cover for the sketch pad. Let me get a piece of basic black. We are gonna make a cover that goes like so. Okay? So if this is, we need 4, and it is 1/4 of an inch thick. So 8 1/2, basically. I need to cut this. Let's move the mini one aside. Put the glue up there. All right. Sorry, y'all. That's bugging me. All right, so we need it at 8 1/2 this way. So that's for it. Did I just cut it wrong? No. 8 1/2 that way. And what is it this way? 6. 6 inches this way. Alrighty. I'm gonna make it open like a book. There we go. Much better. Okay. Now let's get... We're only going to be putting tear tape on the back of this, or glue. We can glue it. I'm going to line it up like so. Gonna have to fix that. Now, if I was giving this to anybody else but my grandson, I would be getting a new sketch pad. As this little book is only going to be used for codes for his computer songs, it's going to work out just fine. In fact, I can put a little strip of black right here. That is just under an inch, so it's like 7/8. And it's 4 inches this way, and 7/8, which is right there. I'm gonna go a little longer if I need to cut it extra. That's okay. So let's, yepers, got it. Look at that. Okay. square that off, make it even. Select it here as well. Now I got my finger in it. Oh, I'm doing good. Oh, the things I can get myself into. Okay, there it goes. That doesn't look too bad, does it? Now, I'm going to my hands, I need some hand sanitizer because I got gooey stuff on my fingers from me. Okay. That is working pretty well. Just really pushing on it, making it I do need to trim it. You can see that. So we're going to draw that line there and cut that off with the guillotine. Right there. Now he has two notebooks. One is a sketch pad. Now we can add here our panel that got creased. I'm gonna have to. Now this will sit on there and not be. I could put a little strap. No, this is weighty enough. It's going to keep it closed. We'll see. Let's glue this down. Can I get any more of that off? No. Okay. It's okay. It's going to work. Lots of glue up there. Alrighty. Oh, so darling. He can have one in his backpack and one on his desk. And it is weighty enough that I don't need to put something to keep this closed. Oh, so cute. Okay, that's from my grandson. Too little. I needed to put a little. This one apparently did not get a mini where it should have. So let's place that little mini on here. There we go. So there is my project. One sketch pad, one notebook. Oh, and my little tail of my little fox needs to get glued down. Oops, sorry. I'm sitting here standing back and looking at it. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I do spend quite a bit of time preparing and thinking of things to show you that I enjoy doing. Please give me a thumbs up, share my videos, help me grow my channel. I would greatly appreciate it, and have a great day, YouTube. Bye-bye now.